Hi everyone, today I'm just taking a break from my normal drawing routine and I'm going to draw a Pokemon because I feel like it. Right, so I need pencils. That one. Let's just go and do it in colour pencil, different varieties. I've got Prismacolor and Polychromos. And hoping this is going to work. I haven't done drawing a Pokemon for a while, so it's all a bit funny. Right, pencil. Surrounded by pencils, but not the one I want. So let me think how we get this. Starting clean sheet. Right. Normally I don't block in shapes, so I'm just going straight for it. I'm sure you guys will be able to work out straight away what I'm drawing. Hopefully. Hopefully. I'm not going to push too hard with the pencil. I just don't want too much of an outline. This is one of my favourite chaps, or chapesses. Only because, in a sense, I can relate to it. So this is going to be in a slightly more realistic style. So bits are going to change. I think that probably needs to be a bit more over there. And this bit of art will be for the Comic Con thing, so I'll probably have it made into a little postcard kind of stuff. It's quite fun trying to put anatomy onto something that technically doesn't really have anatomy. Actually, it needs to come here. Yeah, feeling happy with that. Now, colour wise, let's see. It's got to be realistic, so I need more browns. Actually, that one will work. That one will work. Okay, I need a red, walnut brown. Need something orangey. I really must get some more brown. Can you? That doesn't apply to you, big spider that's sat on the wall staring at me. You can go away anytime soon. Thank you very much. Sure. Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, I'm just getting another handful of pencils. I'm going for quite a few pencils, so I'm aiming for more of realism on this one. Right, start with the easiest area, I think. I don't even know if my camera's working today. So, sorry if the camera squoons in and out a bit. It does tend to do that. I don't quite know why. So with these pencils, I'm keeping a really nice light touch. I'm not pushing down hard at all. So I'm just going to add layer after layer just to get enough detail. Just as a thought, I've got this really quite cute drawing of a swine nub. I need to find that out. That can go for a little postcard print. Now, I know when it comes down to this Comic Con, my artwork isn't going to be as in your face, bright and soft as a lot of the computer generated work. And I'm not in truth bothered by that. Everyone's got their preference. The other thing is, with me, I can't press a couple of buttons and delete a mistake. I have to work a lot harder to make sure that every part of this image is going to be right. And some days I do wish I could just press a button or clone something or blur it out and click of a button. But hey ho, I can't, so this is the way we go. So I'm just adding in a reddish colour. Even though the polychromos are oil based and prismas are wax based, you can get a certain amount of blendability with them. You just have to be careful on where you layer each one. But something really essential is that you keep your pencil sharp at all times. The sharper the pencil, the better. So you're realising there's lead stuck in my sharpener. Come on. There's now no lead stuck in my sharpener. I've got about between 7 and 20 odd sharpeners. Every single sharpener has a different reaction to a pencil. Some of them work, some of them won't. And different pencils, because the wood barrels are all different shapes and sizes, not all sharpeners will work perfectly. In fact, some sharpeners will break pencils, particular pencils. And you might think, oh, it's the pencil itself, but it's the way the sharpener is driving into the wood. So definitely try and experiment with pencil sharpeners. Just going to soften that down. Once again, pretty much no pressure whatsoever. Now to soften down and blur out colour pencil, you can use things like Gamsol, Mona Lisa Odorless Spirit Stuff, or Zest It. I tend to use Zest It, though I always walk away from it with a whopping great big headache. It makes me feel quite sick. And yet that's meant to be like low odour. So whenever I'm using anything like that, I always have to make sure I've got a window open, a fan on, and a lot of air circulating around me. Some of the chemicals, literally, you will, within 5-10 minutes, you'll just feel sick. A lot of them are solvent based, so it is really not a good idea to breathe them in constantly. Make yourself very, very ill. So instead of using a black, I'm just using a moderate warm grey, or cold grey, some sort of grey. I haven't seen one of these on Pokemon Go yet, but I'm really hoping that they're going to come out soon. I need purple. Blue. Purple and blue and red, working them together will make a kind of blackish colour, which is more natural than using pure black. And the paper that I'm using today is the, I should have said earlier, the Strathmore Toned Tan 50 sheets. This is about an A5 size. It doesn't, it's really good for like light work and a couple of layers, but it doesn't do multiple big layers quite so well. So, and it is quite an expensive paper. But for this, I just think it should work quite nicely. Might need to sharpen this pencil. Bigger sharpener, any sharpener, so that sharpener won't work. Let's try this sharpener. No, one didn't fit into that sharpener. Oh, this one. My favourite German sharpener. I do have a big hand sharpener where you just twirl the handle and it sharpens them, but even that doesn't always do certain pencils. So I'm adding the cream on just to soften and blend in the layers. Of course, there will be a difference when you think the TV images and the images you see online are all cell shaded in that sort of style. You don't see these characters done as pencil or colour pencil. Mind you, there is a very, very good artist out there who does realism on the computer. And his stuff is absolutely amazing, and he's got his own book and stuff. But that's again on the computer. And I need something slightly orangey. So keeping a light hand and sometimes just using small circular motions. that'll do for now. It's just a rough base layer. So that's down, so then onto the actual critter. Don't want to do it bright illuminous yellow. So I've just found a Prismacolor which is quite what looks to be much more muted. So I'm going to try that one. My Prismacolors don't sharpen as well as my polychromos. Don't know why. Yeah, it just don't work. That's just quite a light colour. Can't trust the barrel on these. I'm not too worried if the pencil marks underneath show through. So I'm just going to get a very, very, very quick base layer down. Sorry about the shaking. And let's add in these little patches. And then I'm going to carry that colour into other areas. So put this all over. A little bit of scruffiness there. The next layer I'll start to neaten everything up. So hopefully you can guess what this critter is, or which one of the Pokemon it is. Let's get some of my Copics out of the way. Oh, they use quite funny colours. So I have got reference pictures in front of me. I just noticed something that I can't add here. That's better. Right. Use a blue just to indicate certain areas. So those reds in places are just literally acting like a undercoat. Where's this bit going to go? So just adding another little layer to the mouth. Using all those different colours. just allow me to get a little bit of depth of shadow. For the fur, I'm going to add in a couple of dark areas first. So as this body isn't going to be immaculate. It's going to be a little bit tatty and a little bit worn. Things aren't always what they seem. Let's go for dark orange in places. Once again, just keeping a very, very light hand. And by keeping that light hand, I'm going to be able to build up a lot more layers. What we'll do is, there's a line that I am going to take out, and that's this one. So this is using the Tombow Mono eraser. It's one of those erasers that will cut through pretty much everything. And I'm just going to neaten up a couple of lines there. Yeah, that was naughty of me to use my hand to brush away the marks. An impression of bits hanging there. Try a little bit more of a brighter colour, not too bright though. this bit goes over there, and that bit goes over there. Right, I need a creamish or a whitish pencil. What's going to work? That's not that white. That should. That white, that white. So my strongest white that I normally have is a Derwent Chinese white. I think I've got one. I'm not too sure. I know I had one, then it ran out, and I've got some ivories as well. But we won't be tickling these. So I'm just very, very gently going to go around and pick out a couple of areas which I just want to be tiny, tiny bit lighter. And even though the character in the program doesn't have these markings, I just feel that for realism it would work much better. So hopefully you can see what critter this is and which Pokemon it is. So I'm just going to sharpen up a couple of the little bits. I'm arguing myself right now to bring in the black pencil. I think I may, but I'm going to soften it right down with the glue. Let's see if I can find one. Actually, use a luminant. Luminants are a bit brighter, but they're also softer than the polychromos. They are very rich, unlike me. Cup of tea. I have the habit of making one tea bag last 4 cups of tea. So instead of being ovals, I need these to be slits. So like they've just been kind of torn from the pelt. And just darken up the centres. Again, just picking out the deepest areas of shadow. Yep, happy with that. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever lurks under has got a couple of little black specks. So I'm just going to put those in randomly. quite enjoying doing this. This is this is nice and relaxing. That's what I need. I've got 2 early morning shifts coming up, and they tend to be, because it's like the bulk of the work for the whole day, you only have an hour and a half to get over 500 items baked and through a system. It's very stressful, and things quite often seem to go wrong. So this is a nice way to relax before that chaos tomorrow. Now, my theory with these little cheek pouches is not only that they produce the shocks and whatnot, but the males probably I reckon the males with the brightest cheek pouches would be more attractive to females, as they show that they're nice, strong and healthy, and that they would be good fathers. That's my little thing. Tightening up a couple of the colours. I'm bringing that blue just to tighten up a couple of bits. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring in the camera. As annoying as it's going to be. Yes, thank you for that. You know I've got a shadow. Take a photo. Check the photo. And that tells me that I just need to push a couple of values. That's cool. I always take photos midway through doing a drawing with my phone, and then I recheck that against the screen, against what I can see. So it's just checking my values and making sure that I'm happy with what I can see. So I definitely want to push a couple of the shadows. So I need to just get a pencil that is going to be strong enough but not too strong. Okay. And this time, instead of just doing random marks, I'm going to be doing those very small pencil marks, little circles. This is now really concentrating to pick up the detail. Actually, I've just seen a bit that I haven't put enough colour into. I'll bring this bit just out a little bit more. It's this line that's causing a little bit of issues, so back with the Tombow Mono Razor, I'm just going to push pencil line away and then go back in and just rework the colour. I'll just get rid of that, that's better. That feels more comfortable. So the shadows that I'm doing are more based on if this was a real animal. So kind of the hip curl. Actually, I need a piece back here that's really dark, don't I? I'm forgetting my 3 dimensions. Bring a little bit of that orange into there. That's better. see if we can get this camera a little bit more in focus. Take that off. That's a bit better, I think. And let's bring this. Just so that you guys can see a bit more of the detail and how the colours are laying. Right, so back to the pencil sharpener. Sharp pencil is a happy pencil. Bit of shadow around those slits. Just define this little bit up here. There's a little bit of detail that I need to push around here. So I met this pelt after a couple of months would probably start to decay and deteriorate. So I will add in a couple of stitch marks here and there. Push up those cheek pouches slightly. Don't want them to be too bright. So if it's old, then they would have faded a bit. And just some honest staining will go around the edges. By adding this red into the other colours, it'll soften down quite a bit, but there'll be that hint there, just a tiniest hint of colour. Right, so I need to add a little bit of detail in here. Extra sharpen pencil. Starts up here. Which colour? Sharpen again. And I need this one. Actually, that's quite sharp. That's another line that I'm not overly keen on. Sorry, not the camera. Another line that I'm actually not keen on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out though. Let's try. There we go. Good old Tombow. 108. taken a lot of that out. I'll sharpen up pencil again. And on we go. So this time when I'm going along the drawing, I'm following more of where the fur patterns would be. So now I'm going to hopefully come in with this white and pick out some detail. So if I can find a pencil sharpener that will sharpen it. I was tempted to add a background to this, but I don't think I should. I think I'll probably trim it there and be done. So this is Derwent white. There we go. Yeah, I thought this might be a little bit stronger, which is what I needed. Different white pencils have got different opaqueness, so don't just think that one white pencil will do the same as another white pencil. Go out, get a few. I've got about 6 different types of white pencil, and each one has got a completely different grade, and also they layer differently. I'm finding a good white pencil can be quite difficult at times. And normally I would actually rotate the drawing as I was doing it, but that's going to make people seasick, so I'm just working from it in this way. I'm also making sure at this point now that I'm starting to put in a little bit more texture, just to help define the character. So now I'm going to come in with a much darker brown, just to push a few of the shadows, and I'll probably bring in some greys as well. And then we'll soften these back again. I just want little bits here and there to stand out. Because I've already put the white in, that just acts like a little highlighted edge. I'm sure I saw somewhere on one of those games where there's a move that you can make that like breaks a doll's head or something, which is a bit weird. So the brown that I'm using works quite subtly with the yellows and the oranges that I've already applied, which is what I was after. I didn't want it like I did not want an image that looked like it was cel shaded. Something with a little bit of life to it. You know it's not quite alive. I just noticed that the eyes are going that way too much, whereas they should be curving round. So I need to make a slight adjustment with those. And there we go. It's literally just about changing the line. So the slits look more like they're now a bit more angled with the body. Right, let's sharpen the pencil. I've taken my time when drawing this because I just don't want to muck it up or anything. And some little whisker beds. And I just need to add some shadow around the ears. And add some definition as well to the ear fluff. A little bit of definition to the fur, the little fur cap on top I've put it. A little bit of shadow to the cheeks. And a bit more to the neck. You'll see I rotate my pencil now and then, and that's literally just to keep a really sharp edge. Now I can come in and soften that down a bit more. In fact, I'm going to add a slightly more orangey colour. Just to certain parts. Mostly to the areas where there's more shadow. Just add a little bit more contrast into there. And I just want to fix the tail. Now, if I thought I'd put down way too much colour, I can literally come through with that Tombow, pick up a bit of colour, wipe it off on a bit of scrap paper, pick up some more, wipe it off. And that's one way that you can remove colour if you think you've got too much or it's built up too much. Just use your Tombow, pick a bit up with the eraser, and then wipe it onto some spare paper. I'm just going to bring in some little highlights. It's the waxiness of the pencil started to get very waxy, so I just want to take off a little bit of that and then put in some different colours. This way I can add in a little bit more texture. Typical Prismacolor pencil. The core is broken, which is very, very typical. There we go. And I can come back and just add in the little bits of detail onto the tail that I want to add. Kind of felt it was a little bit flat, so I'm just adding in colours that are already in the drawing. I'll just add a little bit more definition to parts. Needs to be a little bit darker there. And this piece of wood's got quite a few knots and lumps in it. And then if I come through with a little bit of the white, just to pick up a couple of little bits. And also to give that piece of wood a little bit of dimension. Sharpen up a couple of little bits. Certain pencils sharpen a lot better than others. And then I need a little bit of shadow underneath. So just using a very, very light grey, I'm just going to extend where little bits are. So it's not going to be like a full shadow, but it's going to be enough to kind of show where the outlines are, like that. Bit of fluff. Right. Where's my little dusty brushy? I had a little dusty brushy. I don't know where it's gone. So I'm just going to quickly take a paintbrush over the image to knock away any unwanted dust. Doing. Straighten out for you guys so you can see that. And there you have it, my own personal little take on a Mimikyu. Or Mimikyu. So I've taken the colours that you get from the Pikachu and made it as if it's just a pelt. So somebody's gone along with a very bad pair of scissors and skinned a Pikachu and then hiding inside it. So just by adding on those layers, I've got quite a smooth finish. Now I can go in a bit more and clean up some of the shadow areas where it's maybe a bit sketchy, but I quite like the sketchy look. It just adds a bit of life to it, quite literally. So I hope that's given you some inspiration to have a go at drawing something completely different and maybe something that's well out of your comfort zone. And it's a good thing to step out of your comfort zone because you will learn so much by doing that, and it'll help your confidence grow as well. So I'm just quickly adding in a couple of little strophe bits. There we go. And that's not got any lines really to it apart from some very light pencil lines underneath, which I can remove if I want to. If I want to put some pen around it, I can do that. But I'm quite happy without having heavy lines around it. So yeah, I hope this helped inspire you guys to pick up that pencil or pen and a bit of paper and have a go at drawing something and enjoying it. So till next time, thank you so much for popping by and watching this. It's always appreciated. Love you guys lots. Take care, all the best, and happy drawing to you all.